I'm being serious.
Yo! It's the Wild Wild West! You came to the right place, my man! Get ready, here we go! New shit!
From the friends to the old saloon! Everyone in town is hanging out! If you got a drink, well, you drink it down! Then we'll all go have sex with a
Brand new!
Holy shit!
Hi, and I'm Rob. I want to talk about conspiracies today and theories. If we remember anything from Lost, there's going to be a lot of them, and a lot of people aren't going to have evidence with them on hand to support these theories, but I want to talk about some prevalent ones. And the first major one is that William is the Man in Black. I don't have evidence for William, but I do have evidence for the two timelines, and it starts with this.
Rumor is they are hemorrhaging cash. We're considering buying them out.
Supposedly, this place was all started by a partnership.
And then right before the park opened, one of the partners killed himself.
Alright, so looking between William and Logan's perspective, Delos is losing money right now, and I think this has a lot to do with something that is said at the end of the episode between the Man in Black and Ford, and this is how that goes.
Well, if you're looking for the moral of the story, quite simply ask.
I'd need a shovel. The man I'd be asking died 35 years ago. Almost took this place with him. Almost, but not quite. Thanks to me.
Well, maybe he left something behind. I wonder what I would find.
So some things that are confirmed in that scene is that the Man in Black is a donor to Westworld or Delos in general, and that is why he's a VIP, as Ashley said earlier in this scene.
This guest already took out an entire posse. Want me to slow him down? A gentleman gets whatever he wants.
So things that are confirmed in these scenes are that the Man in Black's a VIP, he knows Ford, he's been coming to the park for a while, and then on the flip side, in the other perspective, William and Logan are in the park for business matters. So there's some dialogue with critical failure.
You'll forgive them for being a little uptight. Every time your team rolls out an update, there's a possibility of a critical failure.
We don't update the host in cold storage, and the park hasn't had a critical failure in over 30 years.
Meaning we're overdue.
So a lot of people think the major key information in that scene is that they haven't had a critical failure in over 30 years, and while that is a key thing in that scene, another thing is that they don't update host and storage, and that's going to lead to this. Did you see what that was? Because I'll replay it. So we don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure because Ford likes coming down to Old Bill and talking to him a lot that it's Old Bill killing himself. And it's actually Arnold hiding within the machine code, because everything related to Arnold's death is just very fishy in general. You know, because Ford says shit like this.
We called it an accident, but I knew Arnold. He was very, very careful.
So I'm a man, and I've had my fair share of bad relationships, but those, I mean, you don't even have to be in a relationship or know people, but that is fucking red flags. I mean, he doesn't even, he smiles at the end. I mean, isn't that so fucking obvious that there's something more to that? There's a little bit more going on that, if you pay attention to Dolores in the show, she keeps having these flashbacks of a church. They look like this.
Find me. Show me how.
There she is. Pariah.
Alright, that scene happens at the start of episode 5, and even though it might not seem like a lot because not a lot happens, actually it's like 15 seconds of just cutaways and cutscenes. There are a few key observations we can make. Dolores is by herself at the start of the scene. William, Logan, and, you know, the outlaw host or whatever his name is, Slim, he only appears after she hears the voice that says, "Show her how." And then finally, it shows a bell and a bunch of graves. The bell is hooked to a thing called a safety coffin, so if they actually put you in a coffin before you were dead, you could ring the bell, and the Undertaker would come over and pull you free. Something that was posted on the ARG after the episode 3 was the standard protocol for, you know, disposing of a dead host. You know, you throw them in a grave, and there's tunnels underneath, and it takes them to the livestock management, and from there they are repaired, you know, redone and everything. If this isn't obvious to people, I don't know what the fuck is, because, you know, it's hinting at this with the graveyard and everything. The one thing we do have to realize is that church and town that Dolores keeps seeing is not there anymore. It got all burnt down, because we can see the end of the steeple at episode 2.
They shall have one. Something I've been working on for some time. Something quite original.
But as we all know, it's, you know, it's not an original story, because Dolores keeps having visions like this.
Same as you. Don't you remember?
So I still have no idea where I'm going with this video at all, but the things that are adding up is there's two perspectives going on, and if anybody argues that or says there's no two timelines, I mean, timelines is a heavy word, but there is clearly two perspectives going on. The final piece de la resistance is the fucking scene at the very end of the last episode, episode 5.
I'm coming.
Where am I going with this? I have no fucking clue. There's a lot more things you can point out between the logos being different, and that's pretty obvious because they did do reshoots, because you can go on the website and look. There's things like this with the Angela robot. However, I mean, when we see it in the show in episode 2, it clearly looks like this.
So how does this work? Is there a orientation?
No orientation. No guidebook. Figuring out how it works is half the fun.
Alright, so my conclusion is that they filmed the entire first season, showed it to test audiences, and nobody had any idea that there's two timelines going on, except for, you know, somebody was paying really, really close attention. So they went back and they changed some key elements. So, you know, it became more like, you know, you didn't have to make, like, theories about it, but, you know, your fucking wife could be sitting on the couch and be like, honey, look, it's different in the background. Like, you know, that's the shit they wanted to go for. They wanted to make it confusing, but still understandable. And there's people going off the rails with these theories, and there's people denying them. Like, but how can you fucking deny these? Like, have you not watched Lost? Like, do you not know what's going on? Like, just stop. Like, go watch How to Get Away with Murder.